Hello, welcome back to My English Coach Dave. I'm Dave. Today we are going to read parts of a BBC News article about how people are spending thousands of pounds on something called Jellycats. So, if you're ready to improve your vocabulary, boost your listening skills, and feel more confident in English, then let's get started. Right, before we start, please download this free PDF here. It is in the description. It will help you follow the lesson and help you with more examples of the words, the vocab, or collocations as I call them. There's extra work and activities at the bottom. Next, if you want to read the BBC article by yourself, the full article, we say in its entirety, right, the entire article, you can click on the logo and it will come up here. So you can see all the images. Other things you might need: pen, notebook, and I recommend a strong cup of coffee, okay? Right, let's read the title. I've spent more than £3,000 on Jellycats. What are Jellycats? Here is the logo of Jellycats. Jellycats is a brand that sells soft plush toys. A plush toy is like a soft, cuddly toy, like a teddy with cotton inside. Usually they are animals, but not always. And usually they are for children, but it seems adults also like them too. Okay, let's read it. So I'm going to read the whole thing, then we're going to go through the phrases together. All right. Amanda is one of a rising number of adults buying toys for themselves. And it's not just Jellycats. It's also the likes of Lego plastic bricks and Sonny Angels dolls, filling up TikTok feeds as people post videos of their latest purchases. 1 in 5 toys and games is now bought by over 18s for themselves, according to industry research group Circana. Okay, so Amanda, should we say hi to Amanda? Where's Amanda? Amanda, where you gone? Here's Amanda. This is Amanda with one of her many soft toys, her plush toys. So she is one of a rising number of adults. Now, I said adults, but actually in the UK we say adults. Sometimes I say adults, sometimes I say adults. Adults is actually American English, and adults is UK English. Now, I put this in red because many of my students make this same mistake from all the different countries, and I've been teaching English for a long time, since 2009. This is the mistake. I want to talk about it, and maybe you make the mistake too. I'm not sure. So basically it's one of many. One of plus a group. So here it's a bit longer. Someone is one of a rising number of group. So either an S or the plural. So people, professionals, adults, adults, travelers. For example, you might say, one of my colleagues likes to play basketball. So that's what it should be, not one of my colleague, right? So it's one of my friends. Maybe this is easy for you, then okay, great. But many people do make this mistake. So a rising number, right? An increase in quantity, the amount. Here is a great phrase to use in your writing or speaking. It's not just A, it's also the likes of B and C. So it's not just Jellycats that people are buying, it's also the likes of, things like. Okay, things like Lego and Sonic Angels dolls. If you don't know Sonic Angels dolls, they look like this. I'll pop up another picture here. You can see, a bit interesting. Yeah, so the likes of. The likes of is similar to things like or people like if we are talking about people. The likes of is more formal. Things like is casual. Let's look at some examples. So the festival attracts the likes of famous musicians and artists. He owns cars from the likes of Ferrari and Lamborghini. Okay, so this is a great phrase to write down, make your own examples, try to use it the next time you have a writing task or you're writing in English. Okay, so Lego plastic bricks and Sonic Angels dolls are filling up TikTok feeds. So filling up, we know, right? Like water, filling up a glass, but feed. Maybe you know feed already, a YouTube feed, TikTok feed. And a feed is just the content that appears on your social media homepage. So on YouTube, it will be videos. Twitter, it will be messages and comments. For example, on my YouTube feed, there is a lot of basketball videos because I like basketball. So what's on your feed? You can tell me in the comments. Hopefully it's my video. Okay, good. All right, and then latest purchases, latest, most recent purchases, buying of things. So the most recent purchase, the last time you bought something. And oh, it's suddenly very bright. I apologize. But we're not going to stop. We're going to keep going. So that means that 1 in 5 toys and games is now being bought by over 18s for themselves. So a lot of adults, or adults I should say, a lot of adults are buying toys for themselves, according to toy industry research group Circana. So according to is just saying where the information came from. I think you already know this phrase, but just in case, here are some good phrases to use when you are giving your opinion and you need to give examples. Okay, next. The research found buying collectibles had positive mental health benefits that helped adults cope with turmoil. Maybe let's talk about that first. So the research found, here we would use a noun. Here's ing because a gerund can act like a noun. It can work like a noun. For example, eating vegetables is a healthy part of a good diet, right? That's acting like a noun. So the research found exercise, just a noun, or drinking, plural noun, right? Buying, okay? And it had a positive mental health benefit. So advantages for your mental well-being, how you're feeling in your mind. This is a good phrase, cope with turmoil. So buying these toys is helping people cope with. Now, what's another word for cope? Deal with. So it helps adults deal with turmoil. Turmoil is like very stressful situations, chaotic, right? Chaos. Some maybe upsetting. They can come here, let's have a look. Manage or deal with difficult, chaotic, right? Or stressful situations. So art therapy can help people cope with emotional turmoil. This is another collocation. Oh, maybe I didn't say. I always tell my students, don't learn vocabulary, learn collocations. You can see here are natural combinations of words that appear together, and they're very natural and it makes you sound very fluent. If you just learn turmoil, it will be difficult to make natural sentences. Okay, so that's why we've got cope with turmoil or emotional turmoil. Another good one is political turmoil. There was a lot of political, right, politicians, politics, political turmoil in South Korea a few months ago with the president. Okay, good. What helps you cope with turmoil? For me, I think it's here. Is it here? Listening to music helps, yeah. Meditation can help. I think being in nature helps me the most, yeah. Okay, from eggs with faces to smiley coffee cups. Here is the Jellycat's smiley egg. The Jellycat craze has made a big impact on the toy industry, and a TikTok trend for unboxing Sonny Angels has put the tiny dolls in high demand. You can say demand or demand. I actually say demand because I'm from the north of England. So the Jellycat craze, maybe you don't know this word, a craze is something that's very popular for a short time. It can be objects, like a trend. Yeah. So for example, when I was at school, yo-yos and Pokemon cards and something called Tamagotchis were very popular in the 90s. Yeah. Another craze can be clothes, fashion. A fashion craze might be to wear vintage clothes, you know, old clothes. I notice people are wearing them a lot. Tell me, what is a craze at the moment in your country, wherever you are? I'm genuinely, right, I'm very interested to know about different crazes. So it's made a big impact on, if you don't use this all the time, impact on, look at the examples in the PDF, write them down, they'll really help you, right? A significant effect on, right? An influence on, an impact on. So here are some fantastic phrases and sentences. Social media has made a big impact on how people communicate. Okay, good. Next is Miss Streeter. If you see in the news article, Miss Streeter is Susanna Streeter. She is head of money and markets at Hargreaves Lansdown, which I believe is an investment bank or an investment company. Maybe I'll check later, but I think it is. So Miss Streeter. So first we're thinking, well, why are people buying these? That's the question. And she thinks a desire to be part of a fandom universe is fueling sales and the need for nostalgia amid the stresses of adulthood. Now you'll see a lot of phrases are in red here because it's difficult, and that's okay. So Miss Streeter thinks the desire to be part of a fandom universe. Fandom is fan plus dom, which comes from domain, or I think in Latin, dominium, but it means kind of a place, an area. It can also mean a state of being. So maybe you know the words boredom, freedom, stardom, right? That's a state of being. Or it can mean a place like kingdom, right? Kingdom. And so here it's the fandom universe. So it's a community, right? The world centered around fans of a particular thing. So here, a Harry Potter fandom universe. That's very long. Normally we say Potterverse. And if you like Harry Potter, like I do, you are called a Potterhead. Are you a Potterhead? I definitely am. So a fandom universe. Good phrase. Good collocation, rather. So it's fueling sales. So this desire, this want to be part of a group, that a community that enjoys the same thing is fueling, right? Increasing dramatically. In the last news video, we use fueling as well. It's a very common phrase. Fueling sales, right? It's increasing sales. It's increasing the number of purchases. You could also say it's a driving force. It's a really good phrase. Something is a driving force, which means the main factor, the key thing that is increasing something or decreasing something. Okay, and the next part was the need for nostalgia, right? The need, a longing for the past, right? A longing for the past that influences what we do, our behavior, often through or by buying stuff, right, from the past. For example, here, vinyl records, you know, the black circular LPs where we can listen to music, that they're very popular now. Even cassette tapes, small cassette tapes are popular. Vintage cars might be popular. Do you have a need for nostalgia, do you think? I do have a need for nostalgia. I think for the 1980s. I'm not sure why, because I didn't grow up in the 1980s. I was born in the 1980s though, but I didn't really, live it, grow up through it. Amid means in the middle of the stresses of adulthood. Amid, good phrase to use. The middle of a challenging experience, yeah. So here are some things that can help you amid the stresses of adulthood. Hobbies like painting, gardening. For me, I would say walks in the park, walks in the woods. Okay, good. So the need of nostalgia is amid the stresses of adulthood. Okay, let's read this again and make sure we understand 100%. Miss Streeter thinks a desire to be part of a fandom universe, right? The want to be part of this community, the community of Sonic Angels dolls or collecting Jellycats. So that want is fueling sales, right? It's increasing sales more. And the need for nostalgia, the desire for the past, is also fueling it, right? Amid, while, we could say, in the middle of, while people are living stressful lives in adulthood. Because adulthood is stressful, isn't it? We have to pay for many bills, pay our bills and stuff. It can be stressful. So here is a Lego cat. I put that there because you will find this is about Ellen. Here's Ellen. Where are you, Ellen? Ellen with her cat, her Lego cat. Lego therapy. Right, Ellen, 23, estimates she spent £2,300 on her Jellycat collection and around £500 collecting Lego. All right, it's quite a lot really, isn't it, to be spending on Lego and plush toys. Now, I want to first just say estimate. So let's look at estimate. Estimate is similar to approximate or calculate, right? You're not guessing, you're using information or data to then make a guess. So a guess is you just think what it might be, right? Now I want to tell you something that will help you a lot. So if you're still watching, you're very lucky. We say, when it's a verb, we say estimate. And when it's a noun, we say estimate. And this happens a lot. So every time there's a word where you think it's an 8, it's always an 8 when it's a verb. When it's not a verb, it sounds like an estimate. So we've got, let's look at it. Estimate, estimate. Graduate, right? A person who finished university is a graduate. Or you verb, graduate university. Separate, they sleep in separate rooms. Verb, please separate the papers into piles. Delegate, delegate. The delegate attended the conference. Or verb, You should delegate some tasks to your team. Duplicate, duplicate, right? Associate, associate. Advocate, advocate. Okay, it's a little tip for you to remember. So every time it's a verb, it's an 8 sound. When it's not a verb, you see, usually it's a noun, noun, but here separate is an adjective. So when it's a verb, 8. When it's not, ut, right? Separate, delegate, duplicate, graduate. Oh, and the next one is, there's a new phrase you can use. So estimate is when you're using data information. Guessing is when you're just thinking, imagining the number of here, the price. But we can add them together to make the word guesstimate or guesstimate. Maybe you can say, can you give me a guesstimate? Can you guesstimate a figure, please? This is casual English, but it is English. It's a great word, and I love it when we combine words together to make a new word in any language. I learn Korean, and Korean does this a lot, adding many different words together. All right, so let's go here. She thinks the building aspect of, right, the building part of it, the building part of Lego can help adults switch off, right, relax, kind of switch off your brain, relax from their hectic lives. Hectic means very busy. You can check all these in the PDF by yourself, right? Switch off, mentally disconnect or relax from stress or work. What do you do to switch off? What do? I play guitar to switch off, from work. All right, next, I find it quite therapeutic to build. Therapeutic's a great word. So it's not just relax, it kind of means relax like medicine in a way, like it's really helping you, like healing, you see? Healing you emotionally or mentally. Gardening's therapeutic, right? Painting is therapeutic. Oh, here's mine. It's therapeutic to walk in nature and disconnect from technology. Sometimes I even go for a walk without a phone, if you can believe it. And a busy, high-stress day. It could say a busy, stressful day. This is just another way to say a very stressful day. Okay. All right. So I find it quite therapeutic to build. It helps me switch off from a busy, high-stress day, says Elle, who works as a project coordinator. And it's fun to have some of your favourite characters. So I imagine she likes her cat. Elle says she would probably have more Lego if it weren't for the cost. This is a really good phrase, right? So you can tell it means if it weren't so expensive. It's a really good phrase, if it weren't for the cost. Please look at the examples. Think of something you could say. So it just means that something would happen if money wasn't an issue. I'd travel more if it weren't for the cost. She'd buy a new car if it weren't for the cost of, noun, here, insurance. They'd renovate the house if it weren't for the cost. Renovate means, well, re means again, nov means new. So kind of make the house new. New paint, new painting, furniture. Okay. Good. All right, if it weren't for the cost, please remember that. For some of the larger Lego sets, they do tend to come at a larger price, so they aren't as easily attainable, she says. What does tend to mean? Usually. They usually come at a larger price. So we could say they usually cost more, right? This is a fancy way to say they usually cost more. So they aren't as easily attainable. So get. I can't get them, right? They're not I can't get them easily. I do like this phrase, they aren't as easily attainable. It's a good phrase to learn well and use. So it's difficult to obtain, and obtain just means get, right? It comes from French, obtenir, get, or sometimes achieve, but still get. For example, limited edition sneakers or trainers, maybe you would say in English, in UK, aren't as easily attainable due to high demand. Especially limited edition. Limited edition handbags aren't easily attainable, are they? Due to, right? Because of high demand. All right, it's a really good phrase. Please learn it. Have we finished that? Yes, we have. Okay, next one. You're doing really well. Let's keep going. Make sure to be writing down the phrases too. All right, as well as. Now, what's another phrase instead of as well as? We could say in addition to. In addition to. In addition to just selling the toys, Jellycats has started putting on pop-up experiences. Currently at London Selfridges, you can buy exclusive fish and chips soft toys sold to you by an assistant pretending to fry and put salt and vinegar on your selected teddies. Well, that sounds fun, but a little bit ridiculous, but still fun. So if you are in London at the moment, in February 2025, I think you can still buy this if you're interested. Here's a photo of what it looks like. All right, so pop-up experiences. Pop-up, suddenly appear. And experiences here means they have a small shop or a stall. It's where you can buy the toys, right? Maybe you've heard of the word pop-up store, a pop-up store. Exclusive, let's look at exclusive. So it's available to only a specific group, right? Or a particular place. And it's not widely accessible or even attainable, right? Maybe they only have a small number of them. For example, this store sells exclusive designer handbags you won't find anywhere else. So they're only selling them in the store. Selected just means certain items, right? Certain types. For example, maybe there's a sale. Look, the sale only applies to selected products. So the sale is only on certain items. Okay, that is it for today. Now, I have made a really good homework task for you, and I recommend you doing it because it will help your English improve. Below, there are many different topics with questions and a sentence starter to help you. So there are topics about the article, some general topics really about nostalgia and collecting, right? Managing stress and relaxation, social media and trends. And these three topics, they come up, they appear in a lot of speaking exams for different bodies, you know, IELTS and TOEFL speaking. So it's good to practice. Social media trends, fandoms and popular culture, money and spending habits, research, right? Talking about research is really useful. How can you practice these? Well, I think if you, where are we here? If you have a teacher, great, or a language partner, you know, you can use this PDF and go on websites like italki, find a language partner for free and practice with them, or even a friend who is learning English with you. When you are practicing, make sure to ask your friend or person to ask follow-up questions. So, for example, I'm talking about reading stories. You could say, you know, well, what kind of novels do you like? Why do you like that? Have you read anything recently? It's good practice to answer follow-up questions. Now, I missed my tips for success, didn't I? I got a little bit carried away. Carried away means I got a little bit too passionate about something. So expand your answers, right? Don't give short replies. So instead of saying, yes, I collect books, you can say, yes, I collect books because I love reading stories from different cultures and it helps me relax after a long day. However, I don't always have time to read during the week. Now that's a longer reply, right? And it will help you in speaking exams, but it will also help you in your speaking abilities because you're making longer sentences and thoughts into words. So don't give short answers, ask follow-up questions, like I've said, and please use the new vocabulary that we have learnt today. So all of these collocations, please try and use them in your answers if you can. All right, I think this video is long enough now, but look, if you are still watching this video here, then I appreciate you. I want to say thank you so much for supporting me, and I look forward to making a new News in English lesson soon. Thanks a lot. Good luck. Bye-bye.